Star Voyager's crew, the human factor. Who knew that adding a human to our crew would be like smuggling a supernova into the engine room?
Captain Zlar barked, his voice reverberating through the tight confines of the Star Voyager's conference room. The diverse alien crew huddled around their newest member, a human named Mike. In the vast expanse of intergalactic travel, humans had earned a reputation not just for their resilience and ingenuity, but for their uncanny ability to endure and even excel under conditions that would incapacitate most other species. The spaceship orbited a dying star, casting a faint orange glow through the portholes.
Inside, the crew stood in uneasy silence.
Eyes of various kinds, some with pupils splitting like atomic fractures, others glowing like bioluminescent seas, fixed on Mike. He sat comfortably, legs crossed, a relaxed grin on his face, as if he were attending a neighborhood gathering rather than being light years from Earth.
Mike's presence aboard the Star Voyager wasn't a coincidence. The Galactic Council had recently passed a directive mandating the inclusion of at least one human on every exploratory mission. This decision followed several near-catastrophic missions that were salvaged by human ingenuity. Humans were peculiar creatures, fragile yet flexible, physically average yet intellectually unmatched. Their unpredictable nature often baffled more specialized species. "Why exactly is he here?" muttered Expo, a crystalline Jayan whose faceted body refracted light into a spectrum of colors, casting shimmering patterns on the metallic walls. Giants were known for their logical precision and had little tolerance for ambiguity, making humans a frustrating enigma. Captain Zlar cleared his throat, adjusting his translator to soften his naturally gruff tone for human ears. Humans have what they call a knack for improvisation.
During our last encounter with the Zeltron 5 asteroid field, it was a human who manipulated the gravitational field to sling us out of danger. Low murmurs rippled through the room, some skeptical, others intrigued. "And that's not all," Zlar continued. "Their ability to perceive patterns and solve complex problems through intuition is almost like having a psychic on board."
Mike chuckled, shaking his head.
"No psychic powers here, just good old trial and error and a lot of luck." His voice was casual, but his sharp gaze reflected the clarity of someone who had spent years navigating humanity's unpredictable nature. This very unpredictability, chaos within order, made humans invaluable.
Unlike species that evolved with environment-specific enhancements like thermal vision, telepathy, or super strength, humans evolved with adaptability.
Their brains were hardwired for learning and evolving continuously. As the crew pondered this, the ship shuddered, a subtle reminder of the dangers lurking in space. Ahead loomed challenges: navigating a nebula storm, dealing with unpredictable alien traders, and exploring uncharted planets. Each task was rife with peril, where human creativity could tip the scales. "Gather around," Captain Zlar commanded, activating the holographic display at the center of the table.
A glowing map of their next mission trajectory appeared.
"Our next mission takes us to the twin moons of Garx for a salvage operation.
The last 3 crews sent there never returned. We suspect it's a tech trap."
The room fell silent. Tech traps, mysterious zones where advanced technology failed without explanation, had claimed countless lives.
Theories ranged from alien defense systems and cosmic anomalies to ancient rogue tech. Mike leaned forward, brow furrowed. "Tech traps, huh? Sounds like a puzzle."
"Exactly," Zlar affirmed.
"And puzzles are why you're here.
Your predecessors extracted vital data from situations where our instruments were useless.
We need that ingenuity. We need you."
The gravity of Zlar's words hung in the air. Mike's presence was more than symbolic, it was essential. Humans possessed the unique ability to connect disparate dots, weaving solutions where others saw only chaos.
Their mission to Garx was fraught with uncertainty, but if any species could turn uncertainty into opportunity, it was humanity. The human edge, decoding the tech traps. Cognitive leaps that left more straightforward thinking species baffled were precisely what made humans invaluable. "All right, Let's lay out all the data on these traps and see if we can spot any patterns or anomalies, Mike suggested, already pulling up information on his handheld device. His fingers moved rapidly, sifting through streams of data. As he worked, the dynamic within the crew began to shift. Skepticism gave way to intrigue, especially when Mike highlighted a subtle sequence in the energy fluctuations of past tech traps, something no one else had noticed. It was a minute anomaly buried in the background noise, easily overlooked by others, but Mike's trained eyes caught it. This could be some sort of signature or a clue, Mike mused. What if these traps aren't just random hazards but a kind of test or gatekeeper? Maybe they're protecting something. The idea sparked murmurs among the crew. Could tech traps be more than mechanical malfunctions or predatory defense systems? The possibility that they were tests, designed by an ancient civilization to assess intelligence or worthiness, opened an entirely new realm of possibilities. When the meeting adjourned, the crew dispersed, their earlier doubts replaced by anticipation. This wasn't just another mission anymore, it was a journey into the unknown, and with a human aboard, they felt they might have an edge that could tilt the cosmic scales in their favor. What secrets would the twin moons of Garrix reveal? The Star Voyager hurtled through space, its destination looming ahead. The twin moons of Garrix glowed ominously against the vast, dark expanse of the cosmos. At the helm, Captain Zlar stood tall, his many eyes scanning the ship's displays, ever vigilant. Meanwhile, Mike worked alongside the ship's AI, both focused on the accumulated data. Those patterns you found earlier, the AI said in its monotone voice, which, despite its lack of emotion, carried a trace of respect. They're repeating with slight variations. Exactly, Mike nodded, fingers tapping on the screen. It's almost like a melody shifting keys. If we can predict the next key change, we might avoid triggering the trap altogether. The crew watched him in silence, a newfound appreciation growing for the human's unique blend of intuition and pattern recognition. Their previous missions had often relied on brute force or advanced technology. Now, they were seeing the value of a different kind of strength, adaptability, and creative thinking. With every keystroke, Mike pushed them closer to unlocking the mystery of the tech traps. The twin moons of Garrix held their secrets tightly, but with a human on board, the possibilities felt limitless. The adventure was just beginning. Into the unknown, the mysteries of Garrix. This mission wasn't like the others. Relying on brute force or advanced technology wouldn't be enough. Instead, it required ingenuity, adaptability, and a human touch, qualities that Mike brought, stirring both anticipation and hope among the crew. Meanwhile, down in the lower decks of the Star Voyager, the rest of the crew busied themselves with preparations. Each member contributed according to their species' strengths. Some analyzed the structural integrity of the moon's surfaces, others prepared salvage equipment, and a few stood ready for any emergency medical situations that might arise from unexpected tech trap activations. Prepare for descent in T-20 minutes. Captain Zlar's voice echoed over the intercom, calm yet commanding. The atmosphere aboard the ship was a volatile mix of excitement and tension. Venturing into such unknown territory was a gamble, but the potential rewards were far too valuable to ignore. Historical scans indicated that the twin moons of Garrix harbored remnants of ancient technology that could revolutionize the galaxy. As the ship drew closer to the moons, the first signs of trouble appeared. Instruments began to flicker erratically, and a low hum vibrated through the hull, a clear sign they were nearing a tech trap. Mike's theory was about to face its ultimate test. Everyone, brace for anomalies. Mike, it's on you now, Zlar said, his steady tone laced with urgency. Mike nodded, his eyes locked on his device. I'm syncing our approach pattern with the fluctuations we observed. If I'm right, we'll pass through undetected. The crew held their breath as the ship edged closer to the critical zone. Time seemed to slow, the hum rising into a deafening roar. Then, suddenly, silence. The ship sailed through the trap, untouched. We did it, a crew member exclaimed, relief spreading across the team. But their victory was short-lived. As they orbited the first moon and prepared to land, a new challenge emerged. A dense, Fog-like energy field blanketed the moon's surface,
distorting sensors and rendering visual navigation nearly impossible.
"Looks like phase 2 of our test," Mike muttered, already scanning the fog with his handheld device. "This isn't just interference," he said after a moment, his brow furrowed. "It's a dynamic maze.
The path shifts in real time,
responding to any attempt to penetrate it." Zlar's many eyes studied the fog's swirling patterns. "This is beyond anything we've encountered. Mike, any thoughts?" Mike paused, then his eyes lit up. "We're approaching this the wrong way. Instead of forcing our way through, we need to make the fog reveal the path." The crew, puzzled but intrigued, watched as Mike deployed a series of drones. He programmed them to emit a range of frequencies as they ventured into the fog. His plan was deceptively simple. Since the fog responded to stimuli, they could manipulate it by controlling the input.
As the drones buzzed into the dense energy field, the fog shifted in response,
creating a clear path through the maze-like haze. "It's like a dance," Mike explained. "Lead the right way, and your partner follows."
With the path open, the Star Voyager began its descent,
the fog parting like a curtain to reveal the secrets hidden below.
As the ship touched down, the crew was greeted by a surreal landscape, ruins of an ancient civilization that had mastered energy in ways beyond current comprehension.
"Prepare for exploration," Zlar commanded. "Stay sharp. We have no idea what else this place has in store." Donning their gear, the crew stepped out into the alien terrain. Mike's mind raced with possibilities. What knowledge had this long-lost civilization possessed? What secrets lay buried here that could reshape the future of the universe?
The story of Garrix was only beginning. As they ventured into the ruins, the sense of adventure was palpable, and the mysteries ahead promised to test their limits like never before. A legacy unearthed, the journey of the Star Voyager. The promise of discovery drove the Star Voyager crew forward, each step filled with the electric anticipation of the unknown. Led by Captain Zlar and fueled by the ingenuity of their human crew member, Mike, they pressed deeper into the ancient ruins on the twin moons of Garrix. The ruins stretched out before them like the skeletal remains of a long-forgotten giant, their towering structures standing as a testament to the technological brilliance of their creators. The crew navigated the labyrinthine corridors, their lights casting eerie shadows along the intricately carved walls.
Mike, ever observant,
noticed how the architecture seemed to harmonize with the moon's natural energy flows. "Look at how these structures align with the moon's ley lines," he said, his voice echoing softly. They weren't just using technology, they were working in harmony with nature.
"There's a lesson here."
As they ventured deeper, it became clear that the tech traps were more than simple defenses. They were a form of gatekeeping,
designed to challenge and provoke learning. Each obstacle seemed tailored to test adaptability and curiosity, traits that humans, Mike included, naturally excelled at. Eventually,
they arrived at a massive central chamber. The door was enormous, adorned with pulsating symbols that emitted a soft,
inviting glow. Mike approached, his curiosity piqued.
"These symbols aren't just decorative, they're functional."
"Interactive," he observed, tracing one with his finger. Without warning, the door began to hum, its resonance intensifying until it slid open, revealing a room bathed in light.
Inside was a treasure trove of intact technology, gravity-manipulating devices,
holograms replaying scenes from the moon's history,
and archives of knowledge stored in humming crystal arrays.
"It feels like we were meant to find this," Zlar murmured, awe evident in his voice. Mike nodded, his mind racing. "This isn't just a discovery, it's a legacy. They left this behind for someone to find, to learn from." The crew spent hours cataloging the discoveries, carefully handling each device. Mike, working closely with the ship's AI, began translating the data stored within the crystals. They uncovered the story of a civilization that had achieved greatness through their understanding of cosmic harmony. However, they had mysteriously vanished, leaving their knowledge behind in hopes that others would continue their work. This wasn't about hoarding their technology, Mike concluded. It was about ensuring it found the right hands. With their mission far surpassing expectations, the crew prepared to depart.
The knowledge and technology they had acquired promised to propel their civilizations forward by leaps and bounds. Yet, the greatest lesson wasn't just technological, it was the value of intuition,
creativity, and the human touch.
As the Star Voyagers set course for the Galactic Council,
Captain Zlar turned to Mike,
a rare smile crossing his non-human face.
"You know, Mike, I think we need to recommend a new policy. No ship should ever travel without a human."
Mike laughed, his warm laughter echoing through the ship's corridors. "Just make sure they bring their curiosity and sense of adventure.
That's what makes us human."
As the stars blurred past the Star Voyager, the universe seemed both less mysterious and more enchanting.
The crew moved forward, wiser and richer in knowledge, guided by the unique qualities of one human who turned a perilous mission into a legendary discovery.